This video is on function notation, how to use that. Here I have fx is equal to 4x minus 5, and I'm asked to work out f minus 6 and f 0.5. Now here this x represents the input, so the input here is going to be minus 6, and the output I get is 4x minus 5. So when I have minus 6 and I substitute it here, I will get an output. So when my input is x, my output is actually 4x minus 5. So let's try it with the minus 6. So I have f minus 6 is equal to 4 times minus 6 minus 5. Now notice how I've replaced the x in a bracket. So I put the minus 6 in a bracket. This is a good habit to get into. So 4 times minus 6 is minus 24. Take away 5. And that gives me minus 29. Now the next question, I have to use an input of 0.5. So I have 0.5 here. So when I input that, I'm going to get 4 times 0.5 minus 5. 4 times 0.5 is 2. Take away 5 gives me minus 3. So when I input minus 6, I get an output of minus 29. And when I input 0.5, I get an output of minus 3. Now this next question is a little bit different. I have fx is equal to 3x plus 2. And I'm asked to solve fx is equal to 0. So my output should be 0. So which input here gives me an output of 0? That's what I need to find. So my output is going to be 0. Now remember, as we said that when I input x, so x could be any number, this is my output. So when this equals 0, I need to find what x is. So let's write that. So I have 3x plus 2. This needs to equal to 0. Also what you can see is I have an fx is equal to 0. So you can just substitute this fx is equal to 0 into here and write 0 is equal to 3x plus 2. Okay, so now we can solve this. If I take away 2 from both sides, I'm going to be left with 3x here and then minus 2 on here. And if I divide by 3 now, I'm going to have x is equal to minus 2 over 3. Now, we're saying when I have an input of minus 2 over 3, I should get an output of 0. So let's check our answer. So let's say, okay, so when my input is minus 2 over 3, my output should be 0. So let's see if that works. So I have 3 times minus 2 over 3 plus 2. Okay, so here I'm going to have 3 times minus 2 is minus 6 over 3 plus 2. Now 6 over 3 is just 2, so I've got minus 2 here and add 2. So let's write that. Minus 2 add 2, and that gives me 0. So I can see when I input minus 2 over 3, my output is actually 0. So this is correct. Now this next question, I have a function that's a quadratic. So I have fx is equal to x squared plus 3x minus 6. And I'm asked to write down an expression for f2x. So let's try that. So my input should be 2x. So this 2x needs to go in this position here where the x is, and also in this position. So every position where there's an x, I need to put a 2x there. So let's do that. So I have f2x is equal to, so I'm going to use brackets to show I'm substituting something, plus 3 times 2x minus 6. Now I'm going to simplify it. Now remember they said write an expression, so I'm just going to work with this now. I'm going to ignore this bit. So 2x squared is equal to 4x squared. 3 times 2x is equal to 6x minus 6. So this is the expression. So 4x squared plus 6x minus 6 is an expression for f2x. Now the next question, I'm asked to solve f2x is equal to 0. So this is my f2x. So when this is equal to 0, I need to solve for x. So let's do that. So let's write it again. I have 4x squared plus 6x minus 6. So when this is equal to 0, I need to solve for x. So I have a quadratic equation here. I can see that I can divide everything by 2. So let's do that. So divide by 2, I'm going to get 2x squared here plus 3x here minus 3 equals 0. Also, I notice in my question it says give your answer to 2 decimal places. Now, this is a clue that I might need to use the quadratic formula. Now, when I'm solving quadratic equations, I can factorize, and if I can't factorize, I should be using the formula. Now, let's try and factorize it. Let's do a times c. So let's do that. So a times c is 2 times minus 3, which is minus 6. So minus 6. So I need a product of minus 6 and a sum of plus 3. Now, I know that there's no two numbers that will give me a product of minus 6 and a sum of plus 3. So I need to use the formula. So let's write the formula. The formula is x is equal to minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, so I'm going to write my a, b and c here. So a is equal to 2, b is equal to 3, and c is equal to minus 3. Now once I've written that, I shouldn't now just try and use my calculator and just plug these values into these places and work it out, because I don't get method marks for that in a test. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually write this again with my numbers substituted in, and that is worth method marks in a test. So let's do that. So x equals minus, so b is 3, so I'm going to put that in a bracket, 3, plus minus square root of b squared, so b is 3 squared, minus 4 times a is 2, so 2 like that, and c is minus 3, and all of this is going to be over 2a, so 2 times 2. Now this is worth method marks in a test, so I should be writing this every single time. Now you need a calculator for this. Now I've already worked it out. When you use a plus here, the answer you get is equal to, so it's going to be equal to 0.686140 and so on. And when I used the minus, the answer I got was minus 2.186140 and so on. Now I wanted my answer to 2 decimal places, so let's round them to 2 decimal places. So if I round this to 2 decimal places, this is going to be equal to 0.69, and if I round this one to 2 decimal places, I will get minus 2.19. So my values for x, so I'm going to have x is equal to 0.69 to 2 decimal places, or x is equal to minus 2.19 to 2 decimal places. So those are my two solutions. Add them here. So x equals 0.69 to 2 decimal places, or x equals minus 2.19 to 2 decimal places. Now I have some questions here for you. So I'd like you to answer all of these questions, including these ones that I've written here, and bring that to the lesson.